Welcome back. Kevin's Mobile Repair. Got a 2011 328i with a 3-liter. We're doing a radiator and some VVT solenoids. VVT solenoids are rather simple. Got an intake and exhaust right there. Part numbers are interchangeable. I got the radiator out in the prime time to do the VVTs right there, since they're, well, not in the way of anything that's right there. But other than that, you can get to them. Just two 10mm bolts, and then the connectors. These are push pin style connectors. So you'll push on this lock tab and pull down, and the connector will come off. Same way with going back on, just clip right back on the way you roll. I do want to give a word of caution. Most of this stuff on these things are plastic, so if you are not careful, you will snap something off, like I did on this upper radiator hose. I snapped off the little inlet for the coolant jug over here. So I have a new upper radiator hose that I will be installing when I do that. They just become extremely brittle when they get old, and stuff like that happens. Alright, so fan assemblies come out, air filter box comes out, the front aero dam comes out. There's going to be two little push pins, one there, and then a Torx bit and Torx bit. The back half right here will come out, the front half right here will come out, so you gain access to everything up top here. I take the air box out, so it gives me plenty of room with dealing with the oil cooler hoses and such like that. Do be aware though, when you take off the old hoses and stuff like that, they do have an O-ring on there, so you want to make sure that O-ring stays in there or you're replacing it. If not, it will be a source of a leak. Now, these little clips right here, you pull it and then you can walk it loose. I like to spray some PB Blaster, WD-40, whatever kind of stuff you like in there. That'll help loosen up the seal, so when you pry on it, it comes off, and it also doesn't rip the seal. So for the radiator half, you have these little screw inlets. This holds the radiator, top half of the radiator, in place. It pushes down on two little bars, and it holds the actual radiator in place. The condenser, Torx bit right there. Another Torx bit right there, right above the condenser line. That holds the condenser itself into, or sorry, holds the condenser on the radiator. So you'll disconnect that, the radiator itself will pull forward, and then you're able to lift it up. This one has an oil cooler. There's a Torx bit on the bottom, and then it little insert right there inserts itself into the fan assembly. So you'll go underneath, you'll disconnect, or sorry, you'll take out the screw, that will pull away. Then you have one hose with one Torx bit that goes right into the bottom half. You can see it right there. That's for the other side of the oil cooler, where it goes into. Same thing, it's got a little O-ring on there. That one looks good. Just make sure you're either A, replacing it, or the one that's going back on is good, so that way you do not have a leak. Fan assembly comes out. There is a little clip right here, and then this one just pulls out, but this one right here, you'll pull up on the clip and then it'll extract out. Disconnect your main fan wire. Whole fan assembly will come out. It's easier if you take the upper radiator hose off too, because in that way the fan assembly will come out with no issue. Let's see, what else do we have? There's not too much more. You want to make sure that the little clips and stuff like that go back on if you take them off, or if they go and they go flying, make sure you find it and you're able to put them back on. Otherwise you'll have a problem. Here's a good picture of, see how this plastic right here starts to deteriorate. That's what it looks like. It cracks around the edges, like this one right here. That's where it was leaking at, right there at the connector joints and stuff like that. So just old age, it happens. Plastic and metal, the metal will win every time. All right, there is a bleeding procedure, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you have known already. I will post a video of the bleeding procedure, but it's pretty much all over YouTube, but I'll do it on this half anyways when I get done filling everything up and such. You do want to use the correct coolant in this, because this has an electric water pump. There's chemical properties inside this coolant that help lubricate that water pump. If you put just plain Jane coolant in there, it will likely make that water pump fail within about a year. I've seen it quite a few times. The chemical inside for the lubrication is not there, so the pump fails inevitably. But after this bleeding procedure, I do put a little bit of PB Blaster on, so that way they go and snap on snug in place and stuff like that, especially for the old ones. Other than that, there's not too much more to it. Any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know.